All right, we're going to do a video here with Mo. Mo's major issues are getting along with other dogs. He's very timid when they approach him. He's snapped at a couple dogs here and there. Sit. Good. Good. Now what we're doing with Mo is I'm keeping him on a leash, and he's just going to have to get used to walking among these two dogs and learn how to be social around them. We're going to pay attention to his body language. The tail's up and wagging, that's good. If the tail starts getting up too straight or down below between his legs, that's bad. Good. But I want to keep it light. I want to keep us moving. Good. Come on. Yes. Sit. Good. I don't want him really focusing on the other dogs. I want him focusing on me and where we're going. Good. I want the dogs to kind of be something in the back of his mind, but not so much his focus. If that makes sense. Good. Sit. Sit. I don't want him to see that I'm controlling these other dogs. Good. And then we're just going to move. Right now, the body language looks really good. He's not doing a lot of lip licking or yawning. His tail's wagging. He's prancing comfortably, which is a big improvement. Good. You see right there, kind of going toward Maggie the Doberman, kind of face to face. I noticed he started licking his lips a lot. That means they're a little anxious, a little unsure. But the more you do this, the more comfortable they get with being around other dogs. The last thing I want to do right now is just let him off the leash in the front yard. And trust that he's going to be okay. What I'm waiting for is there should be a time when he starts showing some body language of wanting to play. Good. Sit. Down. Good. Okay. Now, one thing he does, he's also sit with new people. He growls and he barks and he looks a little intimidating, but I found really all it takes is one good correction and a hard no. He gets it, and so like my son walked up to us the other day, and he started growling. I gave him a hard pop on the leash, told him no, and then I had my son just start walking next to us, and I just handed my son the leash. And as soon as my son started directing where the walk was going, he understood now this human's in charge. And he just needs a lot of that, just normal stuff. Good. Good. Sit. Out. Good. 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 Good boy. Good boy. So this is really good. He's letting Ruger kind of sit behind him. He's not fixating on him. He's fixating on me. So when I do this, I want to keep the dogs hungry. Good. Good. You notice I'm keeping him on a short leash right here, so if he was to lunge and try to bite, then he can't go very far, and I can yank him back. But just getting him used to walking around in this building with dogs around him and nothing dramatic is happening. Trying to just keep it very basic and boring. The worst thing you can do with a dog like this is avoid the situations all the time. You don't fix anything unless you confront it. I know a lot of people, you're scared. Dog fights are scary. But at the same time, you can't be a pushover with a dog that acts aggressive. You have to let them know that it's not going to be tolerated. Good. That was real good. I don't know if you saw that, but he stopped and actually sniffed Ruger's butt there. That's a good, healthy behavior. A little bit of butt sniffing goes a long way in the dog world. If your dog's like overly sniffing another dog, then you need to break that up. But if it's just gentle, like if they just want to sniff quick, that's how dogs greet each other, then that's good. So he is getting a little bit more curious of the other dogs. Now, if there was an outburst of some kind to where he went to bite one of my dogs, he would get yanked back. I would tell him no, and we would just keep walking like it never happened. Good. So if he was to snap, like I said, I'd yank him back. I'd tell him no, very loud, very sternly, but I'm not going to dwell on it. It's not going to be personal. We're just going to keep walking like it never happened. And I'm not going to sit there and freak out about it. Good. Good. So like little things like that, you got to have enough nerve to let happen. But I can tell Ruger is actually feeling pretty comfortable right now. That might be because he's kind of also a bonehead. But he's also not getting a terrible vibe from Mo. So that's good. 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 Come on. Nope. Good. Good boy, sit. So there's a good look at how I kind of deal with these dogs that are, sit. The dogs that are a little bit iffy with it. He's not terribly aggressive. He's just, you can look at his eyes and tell that he's uneasy around other dogs. So you want to just do stuff like a lot of this kind of stuff where he's involved in a pack of dogs but it's calm, it's controlled, he's getting treats, and it's not a stressful thing. If he starts looking too stressed out, his eyes are bugging out too much, or he's walking all stiff and unrelaxed, then I would pull the dogs away, take a little break, and normally what I'll do is I just put him in the kennel and I'll work my dogs right in front of his kennel, right in front of him, so even if he wanted to come at him, he can't. And he just gets used to having other dogs around him, other dogs eating with him, other dogs doing everything he's doing, until he realizes that they're not a threat. He has no reason to attack them or lash out. One, because he realizes real fast that I'm the one that's in charge. And that's not going to fly. So they have to understand who's the boss. When you have a bunch of dogs, somebody has got to be in charge. And if I see a dog that's showing uneasy or uncomfortable body language, I have to nip that in the bud. And they start understanding, and they see the other dogs, how they react with me and how they look at me. And then all of a sudden everything becomes a lot less stressful for them. So this is a good video with Mo. I made it through the whole thing without any snapping, so pretty cool. He's kind of an oddball, but he's really sweet with me when it's just him and I. He's very needy, very Velcro. We call it a Velcro dog, where he always needs to be right next to you. So I try to do things where I'm not touching him all the time. I want him to get comfortable in his own skin and I shouldn't have to be his pacifier. So, but that's what we're doing with Mo, and we'll see you on the next one.